Show. How you're doing today? For me, I'm doing good as usual. This is the first The Franklin Show during this pandemic. Let's talk a little bit about this pandemic and how it's affecting everybody. This pandemic is affecting everybody uh, financially, emotionally, and physically. They're affecting the big guys and the small guys. Um, what I mean by financial, I mean loss of jobs, um, closed businesses, long lineup of waiting in to get in stores, you know, affecting us emotionally, meaning that we're unable to connect with friends, family, loved ones like we used to in person, right? Right? It's more over the phone, video call nowadays. Um, Also, when I also mean by emotional, I mean by for people that are single, right? We're more lonely now than ever, right? Um, like, because can't really like go out there and party and all that, right? Right? So it's affecting us emotionally also, um, affecting us physically, meaning this for people like me that used to go into the gym, right? Um, when the pandemic started, right? It felt like, what to do, right? It's like not used to working out at home, more used to the gym and that, right? So got more lazier, over lazier, long run, right? And also like there'll be times where like I'm able to motivate myself, right? To actually do things, actually get things done, right? But at the same time, it's like used to a certain routine, right? Um, Go to work, later go to the gym, right? So now it's like it's a different routine. Stay home all day and plan what you have to do for the day, right? Pretty much. So it's affecting us emotionally, affecting us physically, affecting us financially also. Now, with that said, right, um, this pandemic has been also been helping the earth also, right? Um, helping the earth in four different ways. By less air pollution, it's a lot more quieter in the oceans. The landscapes are changing. Now, what I mean by less air pollution, right? I mean by less cars on the road, buses, street cars, trains, right? So less dioxide going up to the atmosphere, which is a good thing. But at the same time, right, I had a conversation with a friend a few days ago, and we're talking about the pandemic, right? We're talking about how it's helping the earth, right? And my friend, I think it's a joke, but my friend was saying this. Um, Imagine if someone started this pandemic to, uh, like, to help solve global warming. I told him like that's a terrible idea because you cannot solve global warming in just a few months when we've been doing everything to cause global warming for years. Like first doesn't make any sense, you know. Um, but it's a good thing that for a few months now, nature is taking nature is taking a breath, while the rest of us is holding ours. That makes sense. Uh, it's also um, helping the earth by changing the landscape. Now, when we're changing the landscape, meaning that there's less events out there. We've heard about basketball games being cancelled, pretty much all sport games being cancelled, uh, public social event being cancelled, Pride also. We are in the month of Pride. I want to wish everybody happy Pride, and it really sucks that it's being cancelled. So it's a lot more quiet out there, basically, which is a good thing, right? Like I said, nature is taking a break, while the rest of us holding ours, right? Also, it's more quiet. It's a lot more quiet nowadays in the oceans, uh, with less ships going back and forth, right? The species in the oceans uh, actually have, I would say, a lot more peace of mind, right, than they were before, right? Probably making babies, you know. So probably after the pandemic, we were like seeing oh, the number of species in, underwater increase, right? Like that's amazing, right? Even though the pandemic has been affecting us, it also has the, the good sides also. Now, our way is the pandemic has been helping the earth is less rumbling. What I mean less rumbling means less construction, or should I say, pretty much no construction based going on out there, right? So that's a good thing because I was doing my research and I saw that now everything's so much quieter, right? Like underneath the earth, right? You can actually, scientists actually can actually hear the next earthquake that's coming, you know, because it's so much more quieter, right, on the earth. Like pretty much so much more quieter on the earth, pretty much, um, which is a good thing, but at the same time, uh, I would say this before I say what I would say, right? I would say this to some people, right? To some people, do see everywhere being quiet, and they think about the pandemic, right, and how it's affecting them, right? At the same time, to other people, they will see how quiet it is out there, and I think about back in the old days, right? Back in the old days, how it used to be so much quieter than it used to be now, right? So everybody sees sees it differently, right? But we cannot ignore, right? We cannot ignore how it's affecting us, how it's affecting the world globally, how it's affecting the world financially, big time. So we cannot ignore that at all. But also, right, um, during this pandemic, right, um, we should be kind to our mind, right? Like we should kind to our mind, meaning that sometimes we should pause, breathe, you know, take a few deep breaths like this. Now, take a few deep breaths, reflect, um, which also try to keep a healthy routine. So, like we, I would say this, right? When I think about it, right? Before the virus, before this pandemic happened, right? Um, I feel like my routine was like, uh, okay, like this. I know what I have to do, right? And I have to do it. But now it's like, okay, so I'm not too sure what I have to do, but I have to, make things up, you know. So it's like, so what I mean, like keeping healthy routine, meaning that um, create a routine that works best for you, that is healthy, um, that is healthy and keeps you active. Another thing also is connect with friends, right? Because most times we're bored, right? It's always good to connect with few friends, you know, friends that you're close to during this pandemic. Those are few ways to be kind to your mind. Also, be kind to yourself. You know, buy yourself stuff. You know, treat yourself good. You know, and lastly, reach out to others um, when you need help. All right. Feel like this pandemic is it's a little too much. Reach out to others, and I'll be sure there's a lot of people out there that's always willing to help, like me. Also, I want us to go out later, and I want to show ways to affect catching this virus. Top 5. What's up, everybody? Welcome back outside. As you can see, it's so beautiful outside. The sun is really shining, but unfortunately, we can't stay out for long. But whenever you do come outside, always try to protect yourself. Always, like wearing a mask, wearing the gloves. I don't have the gloves on, but I do have a hand sanitizer that I always use, because you have to prevent yourself from catching the virus. No, that's the main way to stop the pandemic from lasting long. Things like whenever you're outside, right? Try not to touch stuff with your hands if you don't have your gloves on. If you do touch stuff, always remember to use the hand sanitizer. Always, you know. Sometimes it's nice to come out and enjoy the beautiful weather for a little bit, then go back inside to the quarantine. I would be honest with you, I do that always. Okay, I do that every day. But I also keep safe, make sure I prevent myself, you know. I'm talking, so I got the mask on. Cannot talk with the mask on. Um, but that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk about the pandemic, how it's helping the earth, how it's affecting us, ways to prevent from catching the virus. I hope you all enjoy the show. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the next show. Bye for now.